body that has been taken. Box office this
Okay,
week
so
was
it's really Took.
yes. Took.
Tooken 1, the spinoff of Taken.
Took one.
Oh, jeez. Let's get into some news.
Oh my gosh,
What?
another movie was literally called A Walk Among the Tombstones.
It was.
Oh gosh.
That's fantastic.
Oh man. Yeah, he's played himself into like this like action hero thing, which I don't know.
You know what I completely forgot about it, and I realized today, Liam Neeson is Darkman. Like, I don't remember that he was Darkman, like in the original.
Oh yeah.
I need to rewatch it now. I loved Darkman back in the day, but anyways, Malengo, tell me what anything good come out of the Golden Globes here?
So I'll be honest, right off the bat, I did not watch the Golden Globes.
Nope.
I've watched some of them.
I wanted to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, but after 3 years, like, I don't know, that like when that's like your selling point, like, come watch the Golden Globes because they're going to be hosting again. It starts to get to, I wasn't that. What does Mike Ben, Mike, you said you watched some of them. Was there anything that was surprising? I'm pretty
Absolutely.
sure. What was that? The Transparent. I heard Transparent won like 3 major awards, which was like big.
Well, just the fact that like the big networks did not win, like CW, Amazon, PBS, like they were the ones that were winning a lot of the awards for TV.
Nice.
So I just thought that was really kind of funny. Like, oh, I guess ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS don't have good television anymore.
Wow, I didn't realize that the Grand Budapest beat out Birdman for best motion picture musical or comedy. That's interesting.
That just sounds disappointing. I want to see Birdman so badly.
Yeah, I still need to see that. Birdman actually won a lot. How to Train Your Dragon 2 beat out Best Animated Feature. I'll talk about that real quick. I tried to watch Box Trolls, and I could not watch it. I couldn't get through it. I don't know.
Horrible.
Yeah. Book of Life, I watched that. I thought that was pretty interesting for a small studio. I rewatched Big Hero 6. I have to say I liked it the second time watching it, but I don't think it was as good as the other Disney one, Wreck-It Ralph. I still think Wreck-It Ralph was better. Yeah, so the big 2 movies here, the Lego Movie and How to Train Your Dragon 2. Wow, I give props to How to Train Your Dragon 2 for winning, because they dealt with some dark stuff there.
And this I didn't realize until somebody tweeted this, that it was actually, I think, directed by Robert Kirkman, who is the creator of The Walking Dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That kind of puts your head around that How to Train Your Dragon 2 after that, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But,
huh.
Let that settle in for a moment.
What's that?
Let that settle in for a moment.
I'm just wondering if we're going to see zombie dragons in How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Maybe.
I hope not.
I don't know. Zombie dragon would be the most terrifying thing in the world.
Wait, was this surprising to anybody? I heard from a lot of people that Fargo was good. Fargo beat out True Detective for best TV movie or miniseries.
That is a little surprising, but Fargo, I think, also had a full season, while True Detective just had the 8 episodes.
The 8-hour episodes. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Billy Bob Thornton won for Fargo. So yeah, a lot of these, like the major, you're right, Mad Mike, the like major networks really didn't do anything on here.
Mm-hmm.
Did Netflix do anything either? I don't
think
know.
I think Netflix had a couple nods for Orange is the New Black, but I don't think they won anything.
Well, that's good for Amazon. One of the other podcasts that we listened to were talking about how this, like, Amazon has now become like the number 2.
Right. right? I actually over the break a moment ago, I actually watched through the rest of Alpha House. Really enjoyed kind of going through that series. And yeah, Transcendent, isn't it? Transcendence? Transparent. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name of this one. Yeah, and it's on my list. I keep seeing that ad on my Fire TV stick, and it's definitely one I need to check out. So I think I didn't realize it was a comedy. I thought it was like a very serious show, and that was part of the reasons why I just kind of haven't jumped into it. So maybe I will after all this. So
see, I don't believe that it's a comedy. I think I don't know how they got into that category. It's
probably one of those like sad like Alpha House is a comedy, but it's not a like laugh out loud. It's like a situational kind of comedy kind of situation. But
I mean, Mad Mike, did you watch Transparent?
No, I don't have Amazon Prime, so I pretty much steer clear of that stuff.
See, like the thing, Sorg, the thing about it that it was very captivating. It was almost like it threw you. It told you right off the bat, like this is what this is going to be, and then it kind of like not dragged you through, but just like slowly just said, okay, we're just going to keep deeper and deeper into like this guy's life and the lives of his children, and just that's what like it was very raw. So I don't. Maybe the comedy. I would love to hear somebody who like would describe like the comedy parts of it. Like there were some things that were like, I guess that was funny, but compared to the other show you were talking about, yeah, like Alpha. I felt like Alpha House definitely. Well, no, I guess you're right. They're kind of the same part. Alpha House was good, but I don't really remember like besides your lead, the guy that ran that incubator. And then the quirky guy that ended up dying in real life, they were just very abstract and bold characters.
I think you're confusing Alpha House with Silicon Valley.
Oh, you're right.
Because then you're also confusing it with Betas. That was an Amazon show that didn't go to a second season. But I know what you're saying there. No, Alpha House is the one with John Goodman, where they're a bunch of Republicans that live in a house in Congress.
You're right. I did not watch that.
No,
forget everything I said.
You should though. But still,
whatever.
But you're right. This is a coming out party, like they said over on Cord Killers. This is a coming out party for Amazon, where we're like, oh, really? They're going to do what? You know what? They're doing a Zombieland, preview. Like that's what I was excited about when they did a pilot for that. And it's really kind of turned into, hey, we actually have some stuff that's worth watching here. Obviously, getting recognized at this point. Their strategy has worked, and how long? It's yet another thing. We're not talking about the HBO shows versus Showtime shows anymore. We're talking about the Netflix shows versus the Amazon Prime shows versus the HBO shows now. When we talk about the stuff that's really getting people's attention, so. I think it's great. It's an exciting time to be a TV watcher, and especially a TV watcher with good bandwidth. So,
yeah, let's move on to the next story.
Sure.
Who pulled this one?
That would be me.
Yeah.
So apparently, there's a rumor going around that Batman vs Superman, the movie we're all excited to see.
I will admit
I'm excited.
I'm much more excited now.
Oh yeah.
But there's a rumor that it's going to be split into two movies. One coming out this year called Enter the Night, which would be about Batfleck, and one coming out next year would be Dawn of Justice. Now Henry Cavill has come out and said that this isn't true, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because if it's leaked, of course they're going to say it's not true. What do you guys think about a solo Batman movie sometime this year before we get Batman vs Superman and Doomsday and Lex Luthor and all that stuff?
Is that what we're getting into? Really, is that the rumor? What we're getting into? Some Doomsday stuff with that next one?
Yep.
Wow.
That's a huge rumor.
Wow, we really jumped in on that.
Soon.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do. But hey, if this means we get a little bit of the Batfleck to see what's up a little sooner, so we don't have to wildly speculate for yet another year, because let's be honest, yeah, I'd be all for it if that's what happens. And this isn't like a Hobbit thing where it's like, surprise, there's a third movie on this book that's shorter than the other ones. Like they can expand this, and that's fine, and work it out versus trying to squeeze or expand a story that's already there. Sure, I have more confidence in this than splitting the Harry Potter or Hobbit movies.
that I guess that's
okay. Well, Harry Potter, some of those movies should have been split.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion, but
Man, you
as
know
far
how many
as this
movies we
goes-
could have gone out of Lord of the Rings if they let them split them up?
oh my god, I would never hear the end of it.
Nope.
Those already should be split up. But anyway.
they'd still be making them.
But about Batman vs Superman, it would make a lot of sense considering all the stuff that they're talking about having in this movie, because it seems like with everything they're planning on introducing, because there's a whole bunch of new characters and new portrayals that they have to introduce. Like, we've heard just alone for one movie that's, let's assume 2.5 hours, a new Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg,
Mhm.
Lex Luthor, possibly Doomsday, Alfred, Aquaman. Like, that's a lot of things you have to talk about. If it's going to be split into 2 movies, that makes a little bit more sense.
And it'd be a little weird to be like we just enter a world where these things already exist, because it feels like they don't when you look at the first movie. There's a Superman, versus, is it kind of like that guy over in, I actually was watching some of the Batman animated series, and I've never really watched a lot of the Superman series, and I love like the first episode when he's talking about being Superman to his parents, is like, as long as you're not like that crackpot in Gotham, I love that. I absolutely love that. So,
well, even in Justice League War, like, that wasn't my favorite of the DC animated movies. But the way they treated it, Batman was a legend. Like, people didn't think he was actually real.
And that's from again from the New 52, where they dropped in and all these things already existed. These weren't all origin stories. We just kind of dropped right into all these guys are established. This is a world where there's a Superman, there's a Batman, there's a Green Lantern, and now they're meeting for the first time. And I think that works fine for that. But it is that, like, when we make movies, we need to make sure the lowest common denominator is covered here versus cartoons we can play with a little bit, I guess. Or it's the attitudes of the people involved. So I can see adding a little bit more fluff to Batman, especially.
I'm confused about something. I thought this was an adaptation from the Batman vs Superman of, like, the Dark Knight Returns. That
honestly, no one knows what the hell this movie is.
Because the only
no one knows.
Don't expect this to be straight.
The suit supposedly looks like Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Batman's supposedly older and grizzled, but he's older and grizzled without us having seen any of his olderness or grizzling.
Don't expect any of this to be based solely on anything. Just like, really, was Man of Steel really based on anything, right?
But my argument, or not even argument, my point is, like, even if they did split this, wouldn't it make more sense based on that movie to have Superman first? And I know, like, the problem with that is, like, we already had a Superman movie, so it's like back-to-back Superman movies, but it would make more sense to have that first.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Well, no, because you can have the Batman movie be like the reaction movie of what happened in Metropolis. You can have Batman, like, you can have Bruce Wayne in a cave, like, looking at the news report, like, oh my god, I really need to get over to Metropolis and help. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
that would be good, actually.
And it could be a Batman coming out of retirement too. Like, the way I'm picturing this is maybe this Batman has existed years prior, like when the Henry Cavill, like when Clark Kent was a kid, and it was only a legend, and he fought crime, whatever, and then Bane broke his back and he had to hang it up. And then he sees all this destruction in Metropolis, and he's like, Alfred, I've got to go back. Like, and he goes to Metropolis, and he meets with Lex Luthor, and he's like, we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
Like, something like that I don't know if that's what they're